Hello everyone and welcome back to Scholars. I'm Gaurav and we were discussing medieval history for a civil services examination. So let's start our today's lecture. In today's lecture, we'll discuss about Humayun. But let's take a look at what we have read up till now. We know that Babur was a Central Asian ruler who came to India and fought the first battle of Panipat against Ibrahim Lodi. Babur emerged victorious and he occupied Delhi and the adjoining areas. Now, after this, Babur fought three consecutive wars in the year 1527, 28, 29, and in 1526 he fought first battle of Panipat. 1527 he fought the next battle against the Rana Sangha of Mewar, and this battle was known as Battle of Khanwa. In this battle, Babur again emerged victorious and he occupied that region of Mewar. After this, he fought next battle, that is the Battle of Chanderi in the year 1528 against the Medni Rai, who was a Rajput ruler of Malwa region. In this battle, again Babur emerged victorious, and after this, he fought against Muhammad Lodi, who was the uncle of Ibrahim Lodi. He was also an Afghan. This battle is known as Battle of Ghaggar. Now we know that Babur was the emperor of Hindustan. He proclaimed himself as the emperor of Hindustan after winning the first battle of Panipat, and he laid the foundation of Mughal rule in India. Now, after the death of Babur, Humayun came to throne. Now, let's read about Humayun. So, he ruled from 1530 to 1556, but there is a gap of 15 years in between this. We'll read about that. Humayun was born to Mahim Begum and Babur and was the eldest son of Babur. So, according to the law of primogeniture, he should be the king, so he became a king. Humayun means fortune, but he remained the most unfortunate ruler of the Mughal Empire. Now, why he is the most unfortunate ruler of Mughal Empire? We'll also read about this. Probably he was the only ruler in Indian history who ruled included two spells. That is from 1530 to 1540, 10 years, and then from 1555 to 1556. That is a brief period of 1 year or so. So two spells his rule is divided into. It is first from 1530 to 1540, and in between this gap, that is from 1540 to 1555, Afghans came to power again. We'll read about the Afghans now, but remember this that this brief that period of 1530 to 1556 we witnessed Humayun's rise and also Afghans rise and Afghans fall, and then Humayun reinstated. I hope these points are clear. Let's move forward. He succeeded, that is Humayun succeeded Babur at the age of 23 and had to cope up with number of problems left behind by Babur. Now we know that Babur tried to occupy India and consolidate the Mughal rule in India. He fought with so many battles just in lieu so that his empire could be consolidated. We know that Babur, after his death, left the empire as it is for Humayun, but there were so many threats that were rising. So let's read about these threats. The newly conquered territory and administration was not consolidated and the finances were precarious. What does this mean? The territory that Babur conquered was not fully consolidated. Why it is so? Because the Afghans were still on the rise in the east, and the administration was also not consolidated because most of the nobles that Babur had tried to run back to their original state, that is Kabul. Why it is so? Because they felt culturally alienated and also they were not acclimatized to the climate of India. Apart from that, we also read that Babur, the one reason why Babur stayed in India and did not return back was the finances of or the treasury that Lodi left. But Babur fought four consecutive war and war costs money, and that is why they are talking about the finances which were precarious. I hope this point is clear. Let's move forward. Unlike Babur, Humayun did not command respect and esteem of Mughal nobility. The Chagatai nobles were not favorably inclined towards him, and the Indian nobles who had joined Babur's service deserted the Mughal at Humayun's accession. So these were the few difficulties that he was going through. First was his territory and administration was not consolidated. Second, he was not getting the due respect from the nobles or the Mughal nobilities, especially the Chagatai nobles who were not favorably inclined towards this. And apart from the Chagatai nobles, there were Indian nobles who joined Babur's service, but when Babur died, they did not respected Humayun the same way they did for Babur. I hope this point is clear. Let's move forward. He also had to confront to the hostilities of Afghan and also prominent provincial rulers as they were not fully subdued. So now what they're basically talking about, the Afghans fought a battle with Babur, that is Battle of Ghaggar, in the year 1529. This battle was won by Babur, but the Afghan threat was not completely waved off. Afghan were still active in the region of Bihar and Bengal. So this hostility had to be faced by Humayun, who succeeded Babur. I hope this point is clear. Now, apart from Afghan, there were also provincial rulers who were not fully subdued, and they started rising. You see, whenever you see a fall of emperor, you'll witness a political instability. Similar thing happened after the death of Babur. There was a political instability in the capital region of Delhi, and when there's a political instability, the surrounding provincial rulers also always look for or seek for an opportunity to occupy Delhi. So this is what they're basically talking about, that the provincial ruler were not subdued and they started becoming powerful. These provincial rulers included Sher Khan, a powerful Afghan of Bengal, and the provincial ruler of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah. These were the two prominent threats to Humayun's empire. As per Timurid tradition. Now, why it is mentioned as Timurid tradition and not Mughal tradition? Because we know that Babur was connected to Timur Babur was connected to Timur, and that is why the Mughals were known as Timurids. So, this Timurid tradition, Humayun had to share power with his brothers, which created multiple center of power. So his first brother was Kamran. He occupied this Kabul, Kandahar and Punjab region. Second was Hindal. He occupied this Alwar and Mewat region. And third was Mirza Aksari. He occupied Sambal region. These were the step brothers of Humayun. So Humayun was generous enough to share his power with his brothers. I hope the story up till now is clear to all of you. Let's go through few important points. Now, what were the problem faced by Humayun when he came to throne? His territory and administration was not consolidated, and his finances were precarious because the Mughals were constantly at war with the provincial rulers. Unlike Babur, Humayun did not command respect and esteem of the nobles, especially Chugtai nobles were not favorably inclined towards him, and apart from him, Indian nobles who joined Babur's service deserted Mughals when Humayun came to throne. He also had to confront the hostility of the Afghans and the other provincial rulers, as they were not fully subdued by his ancestors. This included Sher Shah, who was the powerful ruler of Bihar, and the provincial ruler of Gujarat, that is Bahadur Shah. Apart from this, Humayun had to share power with his brothers, and this created multiple power centers. His first brother was Kamran, who occupied Kabul, Kandahar, and Punjab region. His second brother was Hindal, who occupied Alwar and Mewat region. His third brother was Mirza Aksari, who occupied this Sambal region. So let's move forward. Now, in 1532, at Daura, that is, Humayun defeated Afghan forces which had conquered Bihar and Jaunpur, and this battle is known as Battle of Daura. So, in the battle, Afghan forces were defeated. Now, the most important point to remember here, this Afghan forces occupied Bihar and Jaunpur region, which was reoccupied by Humayun. Then he seized the powerful fort of Chunar. Where is this fort of Chunar? It is in Mirzapur, UP, from the Afghan Sardar Sher Khan. So Sher Khan, this fort of Chunar was under the control of Afghan ruler Sher Khan. From him, he laid a siege upon this fort. Despite the best effort of his master gunner Rumi Khan, it took Humayun 6 months to besiege Chunar. So he took control of this fort of Chunar, but it took him 6 months. This master gunner, the name of this master gunner is important. Rumi Khan was the master gunner. What does it mean by master gunner? He was able to fire or use those cannons. Now, this is the fort of Chunar. It is located on the bank of river Ganga. Now, the Chunar fort commanded the land and the river route between Agra and East, and thus this was known as Gateway of Eastern India. So, this fort, which took Humayun 6 months to besiege, was strategically very important because it commanded the land route and the river route between Agra and the east, and that is why this Chunar fort was known as gateway to the eastern India, and that is why it was it was so important for Humayun to take control of this fort. But in spite of the position of superiority, he made a treaty with the rising Afghan leader Sher Khan. Now he took control of this Chunar fort, but he signed a treaty with Sher Khan. Even though he was in the position of superiority, he could have easily drove out Sardar Khan from there, but he signed a treaty. This treaty leaving him in full control of the area of Banaras and also the possession of fort in lieu of his loyalty, and a mistake which cost him his empire later. So he left Sardar Khan, gave him control of Banaras and also the possession of this fort, and this was a very big mistake that Humayun committed. But there was a reason why Humayun committed this mistake. Let's talk about this. A probable reason for this hastiness, that is, this hastiness in signing a treaty with the Afghan leader Sher Khan, was the advance of Bahadur Shah of Gujarat towards the Mughal frontier, especially towards Malwa and Rajputana. So while he was fighting Afghans in the east, he witnessed the rise of Bahadur Shah of Gujarat in the west, and that is why when he took control of this fort of Chunar, he thought that it will be wise to sign a treaty with Sher Khan and suppress the revolt that is originating in the western frontier, and that is why he signed a treaty with Sher Khan. So, in such a situation, Humayun was forced to rush back to Agra in 1532 to 33. Marching towards Malwa, Humayun seized Mandu and then stormed Champaner and Ahmedabad. So, whatever came in his way, he conquered those. He appointed his younger brother Mirza Askari as Viceroy of Gujarat and returned to Malwa. So he was appointed as the Viceroy of Gujarat. However, both the Gujarat and Malwa were lost as quickly as they had been gained. That is, while in his way to Gujarat, he occupied all these things, but they were lost as soon as they were gained. Askari lacked experience, and when Bahadur Shah moved toward Ahmedabad, he fled to Agra, leaving his territory behind. So I hope this story is clear to all of you. Let's take a look at this once again. In 1352, Humayun fought a battle, that is Battle of Daura. In this battle, he defeated the Afghan forces which conquered Bihar and Jaunpur. Apart from this, he besieged the powerful Chunar fort from the Afghan ruler or the Afghan Sardar Sher Khan. This fort was strategically very important because it commanded the land and sea route between Agra and East and was thus known as gateway towards the eastern India. So I hope this is clear. Let's move forward. Now after this, he was in a position of strength or a position of superiority, but he had to sign a treaty with Sardar Khan. Now this was a hasty decision. Historians call it a very hasty decision on the part of Humayun and a big mistake which cost him his empire in the later phase. But he had to sign a treaty because he saw the rise of another revolt in the western India from Bahadur Shah of Gujarat, and that is why he rushed back to Agra. Marching towards Malwa, Humayun seized Mandu and then stormed Champaner and Ahmedabad. But he also after this, he appointed his brother Askari as the Viceroy of Gujarat and returned to Mandu. Now, both the Gujarat and Malwa were lost as quickly as they had been gained. Askari lacked experience, and when Bahadur Shah moved towards the Ahmedabad, he fled to Agra, leaving his empire into the hands of enemies. I hope this is clear to all of you. Let's move forward. Now, meanwhile, while he was suppressing the revolt in the western India, Sher Khan became unquestioned master of Bihar. Sher Khan captured the powerful fort of Rohtas by treachery, where he left his family safely and invaded Bengal and captured Gaur, which was its capital. So this is a fort in Bihar. Apart from this, this was captured by Sher Khan, breaking the treaty. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now, with this treaty, Sher Khan bought some time to stabilize himself to recoup his army. After equipping a new army, Humayun marched against Sher Khan. Now, Sher Khan then made an offer to Humayun that he would surrender Bihar and pay an annual tribute of 10 lakh dinar if he was allowed to retain Bengal. So there was also an offer made by Sher Khan so as to avoid the battle. In this offer, Sher Khan said that he would surrender Bihar and pay an annual sum of 10 lakh dinar if he was allowed to retain Bengal. That is, Bihar would go to Humayun and Bengal will be under the control of Sher Khan. But Humayun declined the offer as he did not want to lose Bengal, which was not only rich but also significant foreign trade center. So Bengal was very important because all the foreign trade used to be conducted through the ports of Bengal, and also it was a huge source of revenue for the kingdom, and that is why both of them were not willing to let go Bengal, and this is what created the situation for war. Next, Battle of Chausa. This Battle of Chausa was fought near Buxar in the year 1539. Now this date is important. Humayun was defeated and Sher Khan adopted the title of Sher Shah. After this Battle of Chausa, he came to be known as Sher Shah, before which he was known as Sher Khan. Now Humayun barely escaped with his life from the battlefield, swimming across the river with the help of a water carrier. So you can see that he was defeated and was barely able to save his life. Now, next battle. Let's move on from here. Battle of Bilgam or Kannauj. It was fought in the subsequent year, that is 1540. Now you need to remember these dates because there are so many battles in this medieval history that they can be asked as match the following, and you can see that there is not much difference between the year in which they are fought. Like Babar fought in 26, 27, 28, 29. Humayun fought in 39, 40. That is why it is very important. Take three or four battles and remember them by heart. Now, after the defeat at Chausa, only the fullest unity among the Timurids prince and the nobles could have saved the Mughals. But we saw in the earliest part of the lecture that this unity was missing. Humayun reached Agra to negotiate with his brothers, but they were not cooperative. So Humayun, who shared his territory with his brothers, they were not supporting him. One among them was the most important, who did not extended even the slightest of support. Humayun could not get support of Kamran, who moved out of Agra towards Lahore, leaving Humayun with small force. And that is why he is termed as the most unfortunate ruler of Mughal Empire. Thus, he was not able to prepare properly against the Sher Khan or the Sher Shah. The Battle of Kannauj was bitterly contested. Both the young brothers of Humayun, that is Askari and Hindal, fought valiantly, but Humayun still thoroughly defeated by Sher Shah. So, in this Battle of Kannauj, even though the three brothers united, that is Humayun, Askari, and Hindal, but they were not able to defeat Sher Shah, and the Afghan ruler Sher Shah came to power again. This battle decided the issue between Sher Shah and Mughals. Humayun now became a prince without a kingdom, and he had to flee from Delhi, becoming an exile for the next 15 years, that is from 1540 to 1555. And during this period, this Delhi was under the control of Afghans. So I hope this is clear to all of you what happened with Humayun and why he is known as the most unfortunate ruler. He rise to the power, he consolidated his power, and then again because of the successive wars from east and west, he lost his empire. I hope this is clear to all of you. He wandered about in Sindh, that is, since 1540 he started his exile and he went to Sindh and its neighboring region for the next 2.5 years, trying different schemes to regain his kingdom. Now, since he was a king without or a prince without a kingdom, he tried to regain his kingdom. He married Hamida Banu Begum, who was daughter of Hindal's teacher. Now, who is Hindal? Hindal was his brother. So, his teacher's daughter on his way to Sindh. So, when he was going to Sindh, he married this Hamida Banu Begum. While they stayed at Amarkot, a Hindu kingdom ruled by Rana Prasad, Akbar was born in 1542. So, Akbar was born in 1542, and while he was taking the refuge under Hindu kingdom ruled by Rana Prasad. Now this is important. Ultimately, Humayun sought shelter at the court of Iranian king who forced him to convert to Shia faith. Mughal were otherwise Sunnis and recaptured Gandhar and Kabul with his help in 1545. So after this 2.5 years of exile, of roaming here and there, finally he took the support of this Iranian king and captured the northwestern part, that is Gandhar and Kabul, in the year 1545. So I hope story up till now is clear to all of you. Let's move forward. In 1555, Following the breakup of Sur Empire, Humayun defeated the Afghans and recovered the Mughal throne. So it took him around 15 years after the defeat in Battle of Kannauj or Battle of Belgaum to reoccupy what he had lost. So it was after the breakup of Sur Empire or the Sher Shah Suri's empire. But before he could consolidate his position, only after 6 months he died from uh, from a fall from the staircase of his library at Sher Mandal at Delhi in 1556. For him, it is said that he jumbled throughout his life and tumbled out of the life. So now you can make out why he was the most unfortunate ruler. After defeating Afghans and regaining his territory, he died by falling from his staircase. Now this library's name is sometimes asked in the examination. It is Sher Mandal and it is at Delhi. And this is a this is a statement. He jumbled throughout his life and was tumbled out of life. That is disbalanced and fall from the staircase of library. Suffered a few injuries on the head and lost his life. Bairam Khan, one of his faithful officers, helped him come back to India. Now you will see the rise of Bairam Khan after this. His half sister Gulbadan Begum wrote Humayun Nama, which was his biography. Humayun built a new city at Delhi, which he named as Dinpana, and constructed Jamali Mosque and a mosque of Isa Khan at Delhi. So I hope this is clear. These construction or architecture is important. So what does he build? What did he build? He built Deen Pana, which was a new city in the adjoining areas of Delhi, and constructed Jamali Mosque and Mosque of Isa Khan at Delhi. Humayun's tomb is called prototype of Taj Mahal and was built by his widow Haji Begum. This is Humayun's tomb. It is called as prototype of Taj Mahal. Now this is another important fact. Now, Humayun invited two Persian painters, Mir Saeed Ali and Abdus Sama, and made them his court painters. Now, these name of these painters are also sometimes asked, so you need to remember these. It was Mir Saeed Ali and Abdus Samad. I hope all the points are clear to all of you. Let's move forward and summarize what we have studied up till now. Humayun was born to Mahim Begum and Babur and was the eldest son of Babur. He was the only ruler in the history of India whose rule included two spells, that is, first was for 10 years, that is from 1530 to 1540, and next was for 1 year, that is from 1555 to 1556. He succeeded Babur at the age of 23. He had to deal with number of problems after coming into throne. They were the newly conquered territories and administration was not consolidated. Apart from this, the finances were also precarious. Humayun did not command the respect and esteem of Mughal nobilities, including Chagatai nobles and the Indian nobles. He also had to confront the hostility of Afghan and other provincial rulers as they were not fully subdued. The Afghan ruler was Sher Khan, who later assumed the title of Sher Shah, and the prominent provincial ruler was Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. Now, as per the Timurid tradition, Humayun had to share power with his brothers, which created multiple power centers. I hope this is clear to all of you. Who were his three brothers? They were Kamran, Hindal, and Mirza Askari. In 1352, at Dura, he defeated Afghan forces which had conquered Bihar and Jaunpur. This is known as Battle of Daura. Then he besieged the powerful fort of Chunar, which is in Mirza UP, from the Afghan Sardar Sher Shah or the Sher Khan. Chunar fort was strategically very important. Chunar fort commanded the land and river route between Agra and the east and thus was known as Gateway of East India. But after being in the position of superiority, he had to sign a treaty with the Afghan leader Sher Shah, leaving him in full control of the area east of Banaras. Why it was so? Because this hasty decision was because of the advance of Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. So from one side he saw the rise of Afghans and at the same time he saw Bahadur Shah rising in this western part. So he signed this treaty with Sher Khan and went hastily to suppress the revolt of Bahadur Shah. In such situation, Humayun was forced to rush back to Agra. He appointed his younger brother Askari as the viceroy of Gujarat and returned to Mandu. Askari lacked experience and when Bahadur Shah moved towards Ahmedabad, he fled to Agra, leaving his empire in the hands of enemy. That is, while he was suppressing this revolt, Sher Khan became the unquestioned master of Bihar. Sher Khan made an offer to Humayun that he would surrender Bihar and pay an annual tribute of 10 lakh dinars if he was allowed to retain Bengal. But Humayun declined the offer as he did not want to lose Bengal because Bengal was very important for the finances of the state. Bengal controlled major international trade at that time. As a result, the Battle of Chausa was fought and Humayun was defeated and Sher Khan adopted the title of Sher Shah after this Battle of Chausa. After this battle, Battle of Beligam or Battle of Kannauj was fought. Humayun was thoroughly defeated by Sher Khan in this battle as well. Humayun now became a prince without a kingdom and he had to flee from Delhi, becoming an exile for the next 15 years, that is from 1540 to 1555. He stayed at Amarkot, a Hindu kingdom ruled by Rana Prasad. Akbar was born here in the year 1542. Now, this date is very important. In 1555, following the breakup of Sur Empire, Humayun defeated the Afghans and recovered Mughal throne. But soon after 6 months, he died falling from the staircase of his library at Sher Mandal, Delhi. His half-sister Gulbadan Begum wrote Humayun Nama, which is his biography. Humayun built a new city at Delhi, which he named as Dinpana, and constructed Jama Ali Mosque and Mosque of Isa Khan at Delhi. Humayun's tomb is called as prototype of Taj Mahal and was built by his widow Haji Begum. I hope all the points are clear to all of you. For more such videos, log on to Scholars. Thank you.